Hey guys, Antonio here with some more The Law of Success by Napolean Hill. Today, we're going to talk about Lesson 8, Self-Control. And this lesson goes in hand with the last lesson, which was on enthusiasm. Basically, enthusiasm is the vital quality that basically makes you go and take action. But without the self-control to balance the enthusiasm out, in order to direct your action into one path, you will basically just be doing a million things. So you need the self-control to direct the enthusiasm channel towards where you need to go. The enthusiasm is what gets you to act. So you need the combination of both in order to get into action. Here they talk about, again, the whole idea of doing what you love. And you really need to have that mindset that you need to find what it is that you care about so much that it doesn't bother you to do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for the next 50 years. Once you find that one thing, work doesn't become work. So it's not very hard to self-control yourself. Basically, they're saying that anyone who has self-control is someone who will end up being the boss at the job or being a CEO or someone, because if you can control yourself, then it's very easy to start controlling others to do what you need to do. You need to have this self-discipline to control yourself first, get yourself in line, and then have the self-control to control others. It's kind of similar to the whole idea that people say, oh, you need to love yourself first before you can love someone else. That's true. If you don't love yourself, then it's very hard to show that love towards someone else. Same thing with having self-control here. Someone who has very well developed self-control does not engage in anything that involves with hate, envy, jealousy, revenge, or any of the destructive emotions. And he also does not go into the super high ecstasies that basically when you become uncontrolled by enthusiasm and happiness. So you're like in this in-between level where you know how to call on to enthusiasm to get you into act, but also control yourself so this way you don't deal with anything that's lower than you at the same time. They give another a very good example of how self-control can really affect you, and they do it with love and relationships here. Love is essential for happiness, but the person who loves so deeply that his or her happiness is placed entirely in the hands of another resembles the little lamb who crept into the den of the nice, gentle little wolf and begged to be permitted to lie down and go to sleep, or the bird that persisted in playing with the cat's whiskers. So basically they're saying when you love someone else so much and you can't control it, that you depend on it, you depend on their happiness, that's when you become, if you don't have that self-control to control yourself, then you now become under the control of someone else's motives, ideas, emotions. And when that happens, you have lost all power that you own. Well, the power to be able to control your own mind is the only power that you have. But when you leave it up to someone else by caring about them so much that your life depends on it, that's the problem. You need to love someone else very deeply, but at the same time know that you're an independent person and can love your own self. You need to have that separation. Also, having self-control allows you to avoid a lot of the negative influences that come into your life. People that are at lower levels of status than you, people that don't have the same mindset as you, people that are only looking to have fun and not willing to work for where they want to go. You need to have that self-control when you're around them to project their ideas mentally and accept the ideas of those that are higher than you and people that you strive to be a part of. So it's very important to have that self-control when you're walking around your daily environment, to know that if a coworker says, it's stupid, don't start that business, you're an idiot, to know that they probably don't care for your success, and you should be able to cut them out of your life, cut the negative ideas out of your life, have that self-control. There's a couple of forms of self-control that they give, lack of self-control that they give here, which could be tips for you to find out if you have lack of self-control. It's the habit of forming opinions before studying the facts. I see this all the time, especially with the past election. People like to see a headline on the news or in social media or something and assume that that means something for the candidate. And they go about telling everyone about what they know and like, yeah, this person's an idiot for believing this because of that. But in reality, they aren't studying the sources of their information. They don't know where they're getting the information from. They're just glimpsing. Your mind makes a quick judgment off of it, and that's not a good way of you have no self-control then, because you are letting other people affect your ideas. Another form is being able to not being able to control your spending, going over how much money you have, spending money when you don't have it, purchasing things on credit and then taking interest. And another one is the habit of talking too much and not being able to listen to others. That's because you care too much about your ideas and you don't care about someone else's. You need to have that control to control yourself and then help the other person. When someone affects you negatively, someone hurts you in kind, you had a very bad breakup and someone hurts you really bad, the person who injures you has nothing over you. Instead, you now have the power to forgive that person that hurt you, and that gives you the advantage over them, and them no advantage over you. So you really need to have that self-control to, when you take something negative, to say, look, I'm above that. I forgive you for what you did. Truly forgive them for what they did, and then move past it. That is a huge display of self-control. And another thing that I wanted to harp on here is Napoleon Hill talks specifically about how he deals with a lot of negative emotions that he gets and has his self-control. And it goes back to Lincoln on leadership, when Lincoln said he used to write long letters to people that caused him so many problems, and he got rid of them. He'd write the letters out, write exactly how he felt, then he would get rid of them. He would never actually send them. What Napoleon Hill does here is, I'm going to read you exactly what I have in my notes, is I had unconsciously psychoanalyzed myself by releasing over the keys of my typewriter the repressed emotions of hate and resentment which I had unintentionally gathered in my subconscious mind over a long period of years. Now, if I find myself becoming very angry, I sit down at my typewriter and I write it out of my system and then throw away the manuscript or file away as an exhibit from my scrapbook to which I can refer back in the years to come, after the evolutionary processes have carried me still higher into the realm of understanding. Very similar to the idea that Lincoln was saying, writing out his thoughts and then getting rid of it and not keeping it. It is a way of monitoring your thoughts. This helps with self-control so much. And ultimately, self-control is the ability to control your own thoughts. If you can control your own thoughts, you can control your actions, because the thought has to happen before the action. So, controlling your own thoughts is what can come down to this in the end. So you really need to have that ability. And so the couple of ways that you can develop self-control is being able to take punishment and not retaliate back towards the other person, not taking revenge, not giving in to these negative emotions, and also not diving too deeply into a positive emotion when it happens. I'm not saying don't be happy. That's completely wrong. What I'm saying is don't go overboard with your happiness and go crazy from it. There's people that are like that, and you need to watch out for that. It's having that ability to stay towards the middle, but still being able to be happy at the same time. in the end, if you have self-control, you can never be defeated because you can always control your thoughts to direct your actions towards what you need to do. So self-control is probably one of the biggest chapters in all 16 of these lessons. And I hope you watch this video a couple times to really get that idea ingrained in your head that you need to have this self-discipline, self-control to control your enthusiasm and repress, get rid of the negative emotions. Sorry, not repress, get rid of the negative emotions that you have. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like the video, please click the thumbs up down low. It really helps me know what videos to make in the future. Subscribe along for any future videos that I make, which I'll come out with one every day. You'll get a new video every day. Some more books that you can read every single day through my videos. Share this video on social media if you know anyone that needs some self-control. I'm sure we all know someone. And if you want to copy this book, I left the link in the description down low. You can purchase it on Amazon. Have a great day, guys.